everyone, welcome to another episode of the QubicaAMF Tech Tip podcast. This is a weekly podcast where we take you on a journey through the fascinating world of bowling technology and beyond. As always, I'm your host, Orly, and we have a returning guest, one of my favorite guests. He's always taking the time to help us out here. Welcome to the show. We have Mark Henderson on.
Thank you, Orly. You're very generous. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you.
And Mark, if someone's a first-time listener today, can you kind of let everyone know your position with QubicaAMF and what you do in that position?
Yes, I'm with a tech support group, and specifically I'm in the electromechanical section of that. And we field questions from customers that either call in or email us saying, hey, I've checked the manual. I thought I've tried everything, but something's not working. Can you give us a hand?
Perfect. And Mark, when I'm talking to people about doing some of these shows, some things might be something I experienced running a center, or common little things that people might come across, little issues, or sometimes I'm just kind of like, hey, what's the hot topic maybe in tech support at this time? And I know something you'd brought up was HyperBowl, multiple ball fouls when one ball was thrown, and so I wanted to have you on today to kind of cover that and let people know what they can do to solve this problem.
Absolutely. You want me to just go ahead and start in?
Yeah, go ahead. Just go.
All right. And before we begin, I want to introduce a correction to the last time we talked regarding HyperBowl. We were talking about the ball touch sensor, which isn't really a touch sensor per se. There's not a gauge in the rails that feel the ball hitting it, but rather it breaks a beam that runs right next to that rail, all the way from the foul line all the way down to the pin deck. And when the ball breaks that beam, in conjunction with the speed sensors, it knows which lights to light up because it knows where the ball is. And I said if you had a dry ice fog, you could see that beam of light going all the way from the front to the back. Well, actually you couldn't, because it is in fact infrared. But like the beam on your TV remote, it's like aiming a flashlight, except you can't see where the light goes. Okay. That's how that works.
All right.
But moving forward into the multiple ball fouls, a frustration for a lot of folks because they're saying, it's not like there's kids up there messing around. We've got two adults. They're only throwing one ball at a time, and it throws this error, interrupts the game, and I'm really frustrated. And I've checked the ball sensors for the pin spotter, and I'm still getting at what's going on. It is, of course, a good idea to make sure that your sensors for the ball that determine when the ball is going into the pin deck is operational and aimed correctly, that you don't have debris in front of the reflector or that it's misaimed. But what a lot of people don't realize is that the error can also come from the speed boards, and they are all down the sides of the lanes. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 speed boards on each side of the lane, shooting a beam across. And if you take the plate off the front, you can get a clearer view of the two little sensors. And if those are occluded with lane oil or debris, it can cause that error. And there's also a little plastic, it looks like a lens, but it's just a little cover. And sometimes with repeated vibration and the ball hitting the rail near those things, they may in some instances become dislodged. And it's kind of like wearing your sunglasses halfway down your nose, where part of your eye's looking through it and part of you're not seeing the image correctly.
Yeah.
And if that lens comes down partially in front of that, it can interfere with the beam's ability to read its job correctly, and you're going to see those multiple ball fouls.
Okay.
So what I have customers do is check all of those, and while you're in there, it's a good idea to just make sure the cables, the speed-to-speed cables between each board, are tight and snug. Of course, if you want to check those and disconnect them and reconnect them, like anything else in the HyperBowl system, we recommend turning the power off. You don't want to, quote, hot swap, end quote, any parts. And that includes the speed boards, the motor boards, and of course the hyper server. And so check those connections, check to make sure that those lenses are clear and that the lenses are in place. And if all that doesn't correct the problem, you may have an issue with your hyper server. And that's found usually behind the curtain wall, back by the first pin spotter, and just ensure that all the lights are on all the jacks. There are 4 on the hyper server, and if some of them are out, or even if they're not, and you've tried everything else, it might be worth powering the system down and getting your spare unit from your spare parts kit and swapping out that hyper server, and then restarting the lane. Might even be a good idea to power down and restart your hub while you're back there. And then finally, The other things to check that may be causing it are your cables. And in addition to the speed board cables, there's one up by the foul line called the motor to strip cable. It's part number 048 300 022. And if that is suspect or malfunctioning, that could play a role in getting errors with multiple ball fouls. And the last cable to check is the dreaded server to speed cable. And I say dreaded because it's long and it's sometimes difficult to get to if it's been routed from that last speed board number 6. If the motor board is counted as 1 in some of the manuals out there, then it's the 5 speed boards are labeled boards 2 through 6 because it's the 6th board, but the first one is in fact a motor board. But suffice it to say, the cable from the last speed board to the hyper server in some instances may be bad or not connected correctly. And if you do have to try swapping that one, it might be good to do that maybe before you open and just connect one up over the lane and not worry about routing it to swap a different cable in to try that. That would be a last resort if all other things are checked and exhausted. But usually those speed boards and the sensors, and of course the lane oil is always an issue because a lot of centers, especially the busy ones, are running the lane machines regularly and cleaning and oiling the lanes. And over time, you can get some buildup on those lenses from the lane oil, or maybe there's just a little piece of debris that has gotten in front of one of the lenses and causes that. And with all those checks, hopefully you are back in operation with your HyperBowling system working correctly.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah. Sometimes, it's just that little thing, I've had something mess up before, not in a bowling center, but just in general, and they're like, oh, see that little piece of metal that was blocking this? And you're like, that's it. That's what was causing this issue. So yeah, you just never know what kind of buildup or something might be there causing some kind of problem.
Right. There's a ton of things that work together in concert to make it right. And if one thing is wrong, like the weakest link in a chain, it can cause a system problem. And of course, if none of the things you've tried work, that's when it's a good time to just give us a call here at Tech Support at 866-460-7263, option 3.
Perfect. You did my part of the job there. I was going to actually bring that up next. I was going to say, and if they can't still get it, but you've been on here more than enough times now to know what I was probably going to ask.
Did you want to step in and give them our email too, or do you want me to have that? You want me to volunteer that as well?
You can go ahead and do that while you're at it. Go ahead.
All right. For the busy folks who don't want to wait through the phone queue and just want to shoot us an email saying, call us back when you have a chance. My name is such and such at this center. You can email us at techs@QAMF.net. That's like the plural of technicians. So it's TECHS as in Sam at QAMF as in Foxtrot.net.
Yeah. And for those who might not know, there's chat also available.
That's right. Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah. So, and that you could find on QubicaAMFBowling.com.
And it's also, if you go into the technical resources, you should see a little pop up in the lower right that says we're online when it's during business hours, and you can just click on that.
Yeah, perfect. Whatever way you're doing it, there's a way to get in touch with them. So, and they're always there to help you, and they are a great bunch of people there that, like I said, they're always there to help and yeah, take care of those things and get little things fixed up just so you're running smoothly. Because if you're running smoothly, that's when you're making that money, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you want to take care of your customers, make sure that they have a good time. And then one last thing I'll throw in is if we do open a case for you and you get it solved, you figure out what it is, shoot us an email and let us know what you did, because we love to have something before we close a case that says what the resolution was. Found a loose wire, or found a bad cable, or found one of those lenses dislodged, and then we'll be able to better help the next customer that calls about the same issue.
Perfect. Well, Mark, I appreciate you coming on today. And those who might be new to the show, like I mentioned earlier, Mark has been on in the past, and just a bunch of other great guests answering all these questions that people might have, and just something you might not have had an issue with, but maybe it's just something that might come up in the future. So make sure you're going back, listening to those shows, sharing the show with your friends, whoever works in the center with you, management, your employees, just anyone. It's a great show, a lot of information. And Mark, again, I appreciate you coming on today.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Orly. Always a pleasure. I really appreciate your time and letting me come on to do this. And thank you very much.
Yeah. And until next time, everyone, we will talk to everyone soon.